Sawtooth Middle School, and you're listening to the West Data Podcast.
One thing I love about the West Data School District that I always brag on is the amount of opportunities this school district really offers you, especially through the CTE magnet programs. If you have interest in computer science, agriculture, mechanics, child development, like you have the opportunity right at your hands for free. That's the biggest thing, for free, to take advantage and learn if that's something you want to do for the rest of your life.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of the West Ada Podcast. And oh my gosh, have we got a guest for you? I mean, if you're a parent out there, and even as a student too, to figure out what you want to do in college, but also as a parent to save time, save money, all the things. Claire Shelton at the University of Idaho is amazing.
Claire really just is a rock star. But she's so humble and kind, and like, parents, really have your students listen to this because she's encouraging. I want to go back and start high school over and college. I mean, she's involved in everything, and she really points out taking advantage of the opportunities that are given to you in high school and in the West Ada School District while they're free and the consequences are low, and really just exploring your future career path. Yeah,
and she is in the Honors College at U of I, studying animal and medical science. You'll hear all of that. But I think what you said is perfect. Like if you're a parent and you've got a high achiever or someone that's thinking about college and all the things, Claire's story, her information is something that is absolutely invaluable.
It is. So stick around, listen to this great conversation. Claire, we are so excited to be speaking with you today. You are an absolute rock star, graduate from Centennial High School. Welcome to the West Ada Podcast. Why don't you share your background with us a little bit?
Yeah, well, right now I'm a senior at the University of Idaho. I'm double majoring in animal science, pre-vet, and medical science, and then double minoring in pre-health and microbiology.
So just easy things, basket weaving, you know.
Super easy.
You're not smart at all, or busy, or any of those things. I love this.
Yes. And then my goal is to go to medical school. And then I was a graduate of Centennial High School. I did all 4 years at Centennial, and it was one of the best experiences of high school. I was honestly surprised. Usually everyone says how much high school sucks, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Go Patriots, let's go. Yeah.
In high school, I was a part of the Sweet Liberty dance team. I was a part of Key Club, which is like a community service club affiliated with Kiwanis. I served as president for a few years. I was in the National Honor Society. I served as secretary. And I was also part of the Meridian FFA chapter, where I served as a representative, secretary, and then president.
So fun.
Yeah, you did so much, Claire. And I really do appreciate you having this conversation with us, because we're really talking about concurrent enrollment and how, having that dual credit, what that means. How did you did all those things. How did all those things prepare you and get you ready for going and being an Idaho Vandal?
It prepared me a ton. One thing that when you get to college, you realize how crazy your schedule gets to be. I mean, on the first day, it seems really chill. Like I went to my first day of classes and I was done at 10:30 in the morning, and I was like, what do I do with the rest of my day? And then by next week, you're like, when did I ever think I had time?
Right. Yeah.
Yes, and having those concurrent classes in high school and being involved in things, it really taught me how to prioritize academics, study. That's something I never really had to do before, the concurrent credit classes and AP classes. And just how to schedule out your life so that way you're doing the things that you want to do while also being successful academically. And so those experiences in high school made the transition to college a lot easier because I already had those tools in my toolbox. So that way the transition was easier. I felt more successful in my classes, and I didn't have a huge burden in the transition.
So it's like you had a really good foundation through your experience in high school. Would you say that helped you build resilience to be able to get through all the things you're doing now?
Oh, yes, for sure. I had plenty of times in high school where I'm like, I'm doing too much. And now I look back and I'm like, I had it so easy in high school.
Yeah. Right. Well, and you clearly didn't learn your lesson from your overcommitment in high school, because in addition to all of your schoolwork, you're the Panhellenic president for the Greek system at U of I, among other things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Busy lady.
Yeah.
Yes, I serve as Panhellenic president, part of my sorority Kappa Alpha Theta. I'm in the Honors College. I actually serve as an honors peer mentor. I'm also an animal veterinary food science peer mentor. And then I'm also a college science ambassador. And I work in a research lab now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Well, now,
Wow.
will you really quick, just for our listeners, kind of give a high level overview of what the Honors College is and kind of what that means for your college experience?
Yeah, so at the University of Idaho, you have to apply to be in the Honors College, and it includes things like GPA. There's a couple like writing submissions you have to put in, and then they review the applications, and then you can get accepted into the Honors College. And then from there, there's different requirements. Some of it is credits, so taking a certain amount of honors credits, which I feel like the honors classes are really beneficial because it's smaller class sizes, so you really get to know your professor more, and it's a lot more focused on the discussion and learning versus tests is kind of what I've seen from it. And then they also have like capstone experiences you have to do right now. I'm in my senior capstone. We have to either write a thesis or a portfolio. And so we have a class dedicated that to making sure that you're getting the well-rounded experience in honors.
That's really cool. Well, one of the reasons I always love talking to you, Claire, is because, you're such a, pardon the term, but poster child, for like CTE and FFA and all the cool things. How did FFA and competing in those things and CTE, how did those things prepare you for what you're doing now?
It taught me to be passionate about something. And when you are passionate about something, how much easier it is to be a part of it. I mean, I tried competitions where I was like, I actually don't care about this, and it was hard. And when I did competitions that I was passionate about and I really cared about, I could really see how your work ethic and everything really goes along. And I see that a lot in college. I see that from even peers who they might have a major that they're not really passionate about, and then it's hard for them. And then as soon as they change their major, they're like, this got 100 times easier. It could be an even harder major, but it got easier. And so through those competitions, I really learned like finding your passion is important. And then same thing with working as a team. Even if it was an individual competition, you're still working with your advisor or peers to help you, and how important that is in college as well, because the most successful students I see are the ones who do study groups with other people, the people that are collaborative, the people that work together to put together their study guides. Because as classes get harder and harder, it's not just about memorizing the information, it's taking the information that memorizing it, but then taking it the step further and thinking critically. And so when you're able to have that collaborative spirit, it really helps you get that higher intellect and do better on your tests and do better in your courses. And also all those competitions taught me how to have fun while learning. And so that's something that,
which is important.
Yeah.
It's important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then
Claire,
the sense of like achievement and success when you do those things, like it feels good when you work hard and you do well in something. And that's the same thing with every test or course that you're a part of, like being able to have that like sense of success within yourselves, like kind of keeps you going because you can do it.
That's cool.
Well, Claire, I was going to say earlier you mentioned various leadership roles that you had in high school and with FFA, both locally and nationally. How did your kind of concurrent credit classes, taking college level classes in high school, did that help prepare you for those leadership roles in FFA, both locally and nationally?
It did prepare me a ton. For one, knowing how to study, getting things done, having a harder schedule. And then when you put other things on top of that, it kind of helps teach you how to manage all those things. When it comes to the actual logistics of being in those leadership positions, my concurrent credit helped me so much because I ended up serving as an FFA state officer. And so with that, my freshman year, I was gone 8 weeks the first semester and 5 weeks the second semester of college. And being a medical science, animal science, I was a lot of labs in that, and I couldn't take any labs my freshman year because I was gone so much. But because I had all these concurrent credits coming in as a sophomore, I didn't feel so far behind being in that leadership role because I was already set up well. And so then that helped in the whole transition of college and not feeling like I'm behind because of this position. And then I was able to give it my all, take an easy year of classes so that way I could focus on that leadership position.
Yeah, front loading. That's the way to go, it sounds.
That's really cool. Well, and I'm trying to go back to like your high school brain, because I know you're in a very different place now, but what were those experiences that you had in West Idaho, the courses that you had or the experiences that you had while you were here that kind of helped you prepare you for what you're doing now with the honors? Can you from a high school perspective, can you kind of distill that for me a little bit? That helps you be successful now. Yeah.
I always think back to sophomore year when I took AP Bio with Mr. Elson. I, for the first time, had to study so hard, and I was so
Oh,
worried. I was always someone who wanted to get an A in every class, and I was like, this is going on my college transcript. Like, I have to do well. And
right.
that was the first time that I really had to work for something. And I had a great teacher who gave us the tools and really helped us out on it, but I was genuinely scared, like it was a rigorous course. And now going
Yeah,
into college, I see how much that class truly helped me because those instilled these habits and my studying
right.
practices that really shaped my college experience. I see a lot of people come into college and they've never had to actually study before and they struggle. And that
Right.
specifically AP bio course, like that taught me everything I needed to know for college to be successful, as well as my CTE classes. I took the animal science pathway, and so I went over to Meridian for those classes.
Yeah.
And we, being an animal science pre-vet major, a lot of your first classes are these introductory animal science classes. And I felt like I knew everything already because I had all these courses through career technical education that I was taught all these basic things with livestock and companion animals that the first year in college was a lot easier because I already came in with this knowledge. It was easier for me to do these
Yeah.
classes. I had these past experiences, and especially through like the three-circle model of FFA. It includes classroom, but as well as three-circle models, classroom education, FFA, and then your supervised agricultural experience or SAE. And that's actually like a hands-on way to be involved in agriculture. And so because of that, I ended up raising pigs. And having that hands-on experience with livestock also helped me in college when we actually did different labs, going to different barns, and learning how to have proper animal management techniques through it.
Ah, so
How
cool.
I mean, you're just amazing, Claire. But would you
Yeah.
say that some of these successes, like proving to yourself that you could succeed in AP Bio, do you think that, and in your CTE classes and all the others, do you think that kind of gave you the confidence you needed to be a leader, to step in those leadership roles, to know that you can do it?
I would say yes. I think that having that big of a challenge really taught me that I am capable of hard things. And when it's really hard because no one wants to step into something and feel like they're going to fail. People want to be successful in what they do. And so oftentimes people don't take advantage of opportunities because they're not sure how they're going to do. And doing something like AP Bio, which was this concurrent credit class that was really difficult, but I was able to be successful through it. I was able to get an A in the class. I was able to pass the AP exam. So in that way, my next class, I didn't have to pay for. Um,
Right?
it really taught me, even in leadership positions, I should take advantage. I should work hard. I should set out goals and what I want to do, what I want to be, and find a way to be successful in that position as well.
Well, I'm kind of being a little bit redundant here, Claire, because you've already spoken to this a little bit. But how empowering was it to know that, like, hey, I'm a freshman, sophomore in college, or whatever, but I already know how to do this because I've already been there. Is empowering the right word? What was that like for you?
I I still love it. I think about in college, a lot of people have to take their intro biology class, and it is hard. And everyone
Oh.
always complains about it. Everyone's like, this is the worst class I've ever been to in my entire life. And I'm like,
Chemistry,
oh,
it was
I already
chemistry
got
for
it
me
done.
back then. Yeah.
Don't have to
Yeah.
do that.
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
was able to take that biology class in high school when it's a lot smaller of a class. You're able to go to class every single day. You have closer relationship with your teacher. I feel like they're there to help you more because you're still in high school. Like there's a little less expectation of it's all on your own. And so being able to have that support in high school to get through a course like that, it's it's so amazing because every time like a new class rolls around and they're in this dang bio class, I'm like, that
Right.
sucks.
Yeah.
I
That's
took it
such
while
an
I was in high school.
Yeah,
Best
that's such an
decision I ever
interesting
made.
yeah, that perspective though I never had considered before. Like
Yeah.
that it would be that way or relieve you from that one course that everybody talks about, chemistry or bio or whatever.
Mhm.
And so you were able to have that in a better setting. I love that for you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it
It's
was
really cool.
awesome. I don't know if I would have gotten an A if I took it in college. Like the support that I had in high school and from my professor or teacher, I guess technically in high school, um,
Right.
he was amazing, and I still stay connected with him now because he was just such a great teacher, and he helped me so much, and he helped all my peers and all my friends. And
that's cool. That's really cool. Well, and okay, so I'm gonna put on my dad hat for a minute here, but as a parent, I've got 2 kids in college now, and the amount of money that they saved, how much did and listen, it doesn't all come down to money, but how much time, how much money did the concurrent enrollment courses you did at West Ada, how much was that a benefit to you in that regard?
It was, if I stuck with like the amount of classes I take per semester, I would have had to take an additional semester, which is another $10,000 of tuition.
Right.
But additionally, being able to apply yourself in high school by taking, harder courses as well as being involved in things also helps you with scholarships. One of the best pieces of advice I got was from Miss Heiger, who's I don't know what school she teaches at right now because CTE, but at the time it was Meridian. But she's one of the animal science professors and teachers, and she said that applying for scholarships is the highest paying job you can have as a senior in high school, because if you spent 10 hours applying for one scholarship, let's say, and it was $1,000, what place is going to pay you that much for 10 hours of time?
Right. Shift your perspectives. Yeah.
Exactly. And so being able to, have the experiences of leadership as well as being in harder courses, it made me a better applicant for scholarships as well, which also helps save me money in the long run.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's just impressive, Claire. You're a cool person. I'm really enjoying talking to you.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
So did you, you already mentioned this with like biology and animal science, but are you finding quite a few of your courses, like you walk into them or have walked into them and been like, I kind of covered this in West Ada. I kind of covered this in my concurrent credit classes or my CTE classes and AP classes?
I see that a lot in my CTE classes because I took the animal science pathway.
Yeah.
So those first year of classes in animal science, I feel like I already knew mostly everything. I was like, well, we've been over this, we've been over that. And so then that was a huge help because while I was still transitioning into college, kind of figuring out my way, I already had that prior knowledge, which was super helpful. Additionally, things like anatomy, I took anatomy as a dual credit. And so I was able to hop in right into the second one. And even though I didn't, in college, there's 2 semesters of anatomy that you can take. And I took the first one concurrent credits and I had to jump into the second one. Even though I wasn't in the first one at U of I still felt prepared and I didn't feel like I missed out on anything. And I didn't feel like I should have retaken the first one at U of I. I felt prepared there as well. And so it helped me, get through my courses a little faster as well, while also not feeling like I'm behind because I did that.
Well, and I think one of the cool things about CTE at West Ada too is it kind of with a no cost, like a no harm, no foul mentality, you can try some things out. Can you speak to that? Is that a fair assessment? Did you find that in your life in terms of helping you figure out that medicine was a route you wanted to go?
Yeah. I also took classes through technically the organization would be HOSA, because I took the intro to athletic injuries course. And that really reiterated why I want to do things more in the medical field, because I like the human side of care and science. And even though I love animal science and there's a reason why I'm majoring in it, even from high school and the experiences we had, one time we had someone bring their horse onto the Meridian campus so we could just take its heartbeat. And I'm like, okay, I like horses, but I don't want to actually do this. And so I was able to see that even before I went to college, before I got into the major, even though I'm pre-vet, I don't want to be a veterinarian, but I want to be able to have these experiences in the College of Agriculture. I really love animals. I want to have a hobby farm. I want to know more about them. And also I'm in the major where it's study of medicine for humans or animals. So they're all really similar, but I'm able to have so many more experiences in college doing both. But because of my experience in high school, I know that even though I'm going both majors, I really want to do the human route because it's reiterated very many times through my experiences and what I enjoy and what I don't enjoy.
That's cool.
I'm curious. I don't think you actually said what area of medicine you do want to study or do go into as a career.
Well, right now I would like to be an otolaryngologist, so ear, nose, and throat surgeon. I had a ton of problems as a kid with my ears. It led to a major speech impediment. I actually had to get a lingual phonectomy as well because my tongue was too short. But I couldn't even say my first name until freshman year of high school.
Oh
So
my
I had
gosh.
actually moved from Pullman, Washington, over to Boise, Idaho, in seventh grade, and I went to Lowell Scott middle school, and I still couldn't even say my first name at that point. So that was a rough transition because I was the
Wow.
new kid and I couldn't pronounce my R's still, which
Yeah.
before it was like R's, S's, T's, W's. So I was getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
But I couldn't say my first name. And then it actually wasn't until I did the FFA Creed competition my freshman year of high school, where you deliver, it's like a 5-paragraph speech and you answer questions. Um,
Right.
with my help of my advisor, Miss Russell, like I don't know what clicked, but my speech impediment just kind of started going away. And I was able to pronounce my R's all of a sudden. I don't know what happened, but it was a great experience.
I love that
But
so much. Yeah.
I'm
Claire.
just passionate about wanting to help people overcome challenges like I had had. But I also want to say that I haven't gone to medical school yet. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe if I try something out, I might also like something else. I could be an endocrinologist. I'm a type 1 diabetic. So being able to help other type 1 diabetics could be really cool. I feel like being a dermatologist be fancy. I love the vibe of a dermatologist's office. Like I just
Yeah.
see myself in there.
Yeah.
I love the vibe of you. Whatever you go into, I'm going to have some kind of need and I'm going to see you as a patient. Okay.
Yes. I have my
I
first
choose-
patient.
I also struggled with my R's. It was very hard it's hard to not be able to communicate that way.
Right. But and I'm not blowing sunshine at you, Claire, but you are such a great communicator. I didn't realize, I knew that the FFA does a great job of training public speaking and all that. And that's one thing that I think a lot of our parents don't know, that like FFA is an awesome thing in terms of public speaking. I had no idea that you had a speech impediment. But I'm belaboring the point, but how cool was it to get that confidence from that aspect of FFA?
It was amazing. FFA really shaped who I am today. It gave me these public speaking skills, interview skills, even things like knowing parliamentary procedure.
Oh,
Um,
sure.
I'm always the pro at it. I know everything. We'll be in, like, for example, chapter meetings in my sorority, and I'll be next to another girl who is also an FFA, and we're like, wrong, wrong, you do this, you do that. And we
Robert's
just know
Rules of Order.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I lead meetings as panel president, and so I always know like how you do proper voting and quorum and different motions and how you can run a meeting. I even remember I was in the government class my senior year of high school, and that was right when I was also in the time of studying for the parliamentary procedure competition in FFA.
Right.
And so I have my thick Robert's Rules of Order book, like it's like this thick
Yep.
with me. I
Oh,
carried it
yeah.
everywhere I went. Well, guess what? I was Speaker of the House because I was the only one that knew parliamentary procedure.
Right.
Good job. Get him.
Right. I love
Claire,
it.
this is awesome. Well, as someone who's found so much success through FFA, CTE, concurrent credit, high school, college, all of that, if you could put on your, 14 to 17-year-old hat, what kind of advice would you give to other high school students who are now in the same boat you were in? How to juggle things, time management, that kind of thing.
I think the biggest thing is also just try everything. You can try something and then decide not to go for it. But if you never try, you'll never know if it's something that's going to be something you love or can shape you into who you are. Things like I never knew that I would try lacrosse. And my sister was like, you should do this. Ended up playing lacrosse all 4 years of high school. Things like FFA, my mom forced me into it. And then look where that took me now. And
Right.
just taking advantage of the opportunities that are there for you makes all the difference. And even though you might be scared, you might feel like, well, I don't have a friend doing this with me. Like you will meet more people, you will go out of your bubble. And then you should just try every single opportunity. One thing I love about the West Ada School District that I always brag on is the amount of opportunities this school district really offers you, especially through the CTE magnet programs. If you have interest in computer science, agriculture, mechanics, child development, like you have the opportunity right at your hands for free. That's the biggest thing, for free, to take advantage and learn if that's something you want to do for the rest of your life. You're starting to grow up. Things are starting to get real. Take the opportunities while you have them. So that way, when you have to make those big choices, like, am I going to go to college? Am I going to go to a trade school? You have those experiences. So feel confident in that choice you're making because you're only 18 years old when you make it and you're making decisions, that affect your life, take advantage of the things that are in the West Ada school districts. That way you feel prepared and you feel confident in what you want to do.
I love that so much. And Claire, I almost have a vision of a freshman in high school, like listening to you right now going, well, that's her. She's amazing. I can't do that. I mean, and I shouldn't say that, but I could see where your accomplishments are a little bit daunting because you've done so much through that freshman lens. Like, how did you balance time management and leadership and college level courses? Is there a secret sauce? Is there a key to how you were able to balance all that when you were a freshman, sophomore in high school?
I think it's all about selecting and choosing what you do. I feel like a lot of times when you're young, all you want to do is hang out with your friends, and
Right.
you can, but if you schedule it in, I know that sounds really bad, but get your stuff done early so that way you can spend your evenings hanging out with your friends. If you have time in the middle of the day and instead of being on class on your phone, do another assignment. I feel like the best way just to, have a good time management schedule is to take advantage of the time you do have. So that way, when you have larger amounts of time, you can spend it being a person and having fun. So that way you don't get burnt out. And also just finding strategies that help you. Like for myself, I am a huge type A. I'm a huge planner. And so every single time I sit at my desk, I have note cards above my screen. Like I'm looking at them right now. And it has every single thing I need to do. And I have like the next 2 weeks planned out. So that way, every time I look down at my desk, I'm like, okay, in 4 days, I have a test. In 3 days, I have a test. So in that way, if I have open time, I can start doing things ahead of time. So that way, when I want to have fun and I want to hang out with my friends and I want to do other things, I can, because you can be high achieving, you can be successful, you can do what you want to do while also being a person and having a life. You just got to make sure that you stay on top of it.
100%.
Oh, wow. Claire,
Yeah.
I wish I knew you 25 years ago when I was in college.
Yeah. Well, you're preaching to the choir. I mean, I am very organized, but I've got children who I'm always talking to them about time management and stuff like that. Anyway, I just appreciate your perspective and love that. Hey, listen, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's another thing of like priority. Like, what do you want? Like,
right. Where do you want to be?
Out. If you're doing too much and there's something that like you don't really care for anymore, like don't continue to do it. Like, don't beat yourself up over something that you don't like. Like, find the things you're passionate about, put yourself fully into them. So then that way it is easier to manage your schedule. Don't do a bunch of things you don't want to do.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time. I mean, I know you've got a really busy week next week. You've got so much going on. Is there, as we're wrapping up here, is there anything that you would add? I mean, we've talked about a lot about CTE, but is there anything before we say goodbye that you would add that we haven't covered?
I guess one thing I would just want to highlight is the staff and teachers that I've met through West Ada School District. I've been really pleasantly surprised by how awesome they've all been. Like the connections I made with them that I still have today being in college. And like, for example, Miss DeGrasia, sometimes she'll bring some of her students to the University of Idaho campus and I'll run into her and I'll say hi. And Miss Russell, who was my ag teacher through FFA when I received my American degree in Indianapolis, like she actually flew out to help me to see me receive it because it was a huge deal. And I've just had so many amazing staff and teachers in the West Ada School District and specifically Centennial High School that really made all the difference in the experience that I had in high school. And shout out to all you guys and whoever hires them.
That's
they're
really
truly
cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be who I am, where I am without them and without their encouragement and support. And they're amazing.
You're amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks for your time, Claire. It's so great chatting with you. Hopefully we'll have a chance to do this again sometime soon.
Yes. Thank you for having me today.
Well, seriously, I think as a parent, I hope hearing Claire's story and as a student, that it inspires you to try a lot of different CTE, and there's so many opportunities in West Ada.
Yeah, she pointed out, she's like, they're there for the taking. Like, just experience them. If you don't love something, you don't have passion for it, that's okay, but try it. And if you don't, move on to something else.
And figuring out when it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, that's
absolutely.
a big deal too. So anyway, I just appreciate Claire and who she is.
Great.
And, pretty cool stuff. Well, and we, as always, we love you being here as well. Please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, on Spotify or Google or Amazon. If you listen on iTunes, please rate us and leave a review. review. And as always, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe as well. Or you can look at our past episodes at westada.org/podcast. And I loved this conversation. I'm super excited about our next conversation
it's
as well.
really perfect. It leads us right in. And you know us, we'll always be back with another great episode. But our next podcast episode is actually going to be one of our Pulse episodes where we go on location, and it's a fun one. You're going to want to make sure you watch that one on YouTube. We will be at the Ag Expo at Meridian High, and it is a phenomenal event put on by our high school students, our high school CTE Ag students, FFA. And during the week, first grade classrooms from around the district get bussed into Meridian High.
So cool.
And they get to go through, they get to see like cows being milked. They get to feel like, look and see animals scat and like all the like so much crazy, fun, awesome stuff going on.
Well, I love it because you get to see the first grade perspective, and obviously it's so cool to see those first graders learning. But the other aspect of it is to see our high schoolers teaching them.
They truly are leading this amazing event.
Anyway, I'm really excited. We're going to come to you from that event to show you what it looks like, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be super fun.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for joining us. Thanks to Claire, and as always, we love having you here, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.